This is not a video I wanted to ever make, and if I ever did make it, I wanted to make it in 20 years' time. We've just got back from Wales. Dan and I drove to Wales to put Qantas down. He had an injury last July to his shoulder. It's something he was born with. There were lots of clues along the way of him not being quite comfortable, and I think all his bad behaviour was probably due to pain, and I'm really glad that we listened to him. And actually, if you look through his training records and things, he was never ridden that much because we were always giving him time for something, like trying to build up his muscle and trying to make him more comfortable and things like that. So he was trying to tell us. There was definitely a turning point where autumn, almost a year after I got him, but not quite, autumn, he must have done something in the field, because that's where his behaviour really changed. Then he was okay off and on, and then obviously he did his injury last July. So we'll put a little clip of what his shoulder looked like, but basically it was missing a bit of bone. The tendon had completely frayed and it was really, really unstable. And we thought maybe we could give him some time. I sent him back home because their fields are flatter and it's not clay, so it's not as claggy to pull his shoulder through and it's not as slippy. But actually it's just been getting gradually worse, and his back leg starting to take a lot of the weight, and he was starting to be lame on the back opposite leg as well. And even when he was just stood still, I could move his shoulder. And yeah, he was okay grazing and things, and he could trot and he could canter. But that deceleration, as he was starting to stop, that shoulder would come forward. And the vets advised that, you know, it wasn't going to get better. He was definitely never going to be ridden, and the chances are he would compensate in another way one day. He was in low level pain and that would only get worse. And there was the possibility that one day he would joyfully canter along, and as he slowed down, that shoulder would completely break down, and that wasn't something I wanted to risk happening. I didn't want that injury to happen and me not be able to get back home and be there for him when something like that happened. So we scheduled for the vet to come to put him down. The vet couldn't have been nicer, he couldn't have been better. We tried to make an environment where, you know, we were still joking. We gave Qantas scratches and gave him a cheese and pickle sandwich because that's his favourite, and he was still being his like goofy self, and we tried to not be upset and give him that environment so he didn't know what was happening. The vet was so good, really, really good. Like, it couldn't have gone better. He felt really well, and it was over in like under 15 seconds. And it's because I love him so much that we decided to put him down, because I didn't want him to be in pain. I didn't want him to have to go through anything traumatic before having to make that decision, because, you know, low level pain and that kind of injury, that was enough. So it's because we loved you, Qantas, that we had to let you go. And I want this video, one, to say thank you to everyone who's supported him over the years on this channel, and the people that have messaged us over the last year to ask how Qantas is, and always remembering him even though he hasn't featured that much. And secondly, just to remember all the good times we had with him, everything he gave us, and for kind of my memories to look back on. So this is more, I want this to be a celebration of everything Qantas was, to really appreciate the horse he was and the life he had, and just say goodbye.
Well, maybe it was fate when you walked in the door. I could have sworn I've seen your face before. So glad God that you said hi, 'cause I was way too shy. What would have happened if you just had passed me by the night? We keep on drinking, keep on wishing for someone out there to hold. All those little moments, the bus you didn't catch me looking over your shoulder, just at the right time. Those little moments all led me to you. Only God knew about all those little moments. Well, maybe it was fate or a part of his plan. Giving me you was like giving me another chance. Thank God that you said hi, 'cause I was way too shy. What would have happened if you just had passed me by the night? We keep on drinking, keep on wishing for someone out there to love. All those little moments, the bus you didn't catch me looking over your shoulder, just at the right time. Those little moments all led me to you. Only God knew about all those little moments. Keep on drinking, we keep on wishing. We keep on drinking, we keep on wishing. We keep on drinking, we keep on wishing. We keep on drinking, we keep on wishing.
Good boy.
All those little moments, the bus you didn't catch me looking over your shoulder, just at the right time. Those little moments all led me to you. Only God knew about all those little moments.
But in direct
All those little moments.
Someone's a good itch.
One, two.
Oh.